Preparing for Work Excellence, Part 2. Now listen to this. The sun has not caught me in bed in 50 years. Of course, these are not my words. They're the words of Thomas Jefferson. Now you see, guys, I told you, again, he is another of the founding fathers of the United States. These guys were great men. With loads of work remaining after centuries of his passing, they must have something under their sleeves. And I'm here to dig deep in it and ensure that I will share it with you because it is worth everything. Welcome, my lovely and amazing listeners, to another of the Hope Ignites Healing podcast. Your host, Dr. Lillian Kalisa. This is a space we talk about everything holistic health and healing. And we are in the season this year where we're talking clean out. We're cleaning out our minds, our bodies, and our spaces for holistic health, but especially your healing. And we are doing the series of workplace health. So last week we started on part 1 of preparing for work excellence. Now, if you didn't catch part 1, you might need to pause right here, go there, catch part 1, because then you will be able to follow through part 2. Now, again, as usual, I will start at story time. Now, I will talk about Jefferson. Typically, it is said that his day started quite early. It was not dependent on what time he retired to bed the previous night, but it is said that he arose as soon as he could read the hands of the clock that was kept right opposite his bed. Some old clock, but a clock anyway, and specifically that this would be before sunrise. First, he did what he called record keeping, that is, writing something down in his old booklet. And while at it, he kept his feet in a basin of cold water. Now, he attributed a large part of his long-standing good health to this practice. Now, one of these days, I will definitely share about cold water and holistic health. Keep it right here. There is a lot I need to share with you, my audience. Anyhow, back to Jefferson. Next, he tested and used one of his mechanical inventions each morning. One that was there that held his coats, where his coats hung. It was a wooden turning machine at the foot of his bed. Among many others, he tested one of them, giving him that satisfaction that he's doing a good job. And lastly, he maximized the natural lighting from strategically placed large windows in his house and bedroom. These were kept wide open to enable direct sunlight onto his body as he worked his morning routine, intentionally maximizing the sun's offset of the circadian rhythm. Now, this is me making sense of what Jefferson was doing through this act. Now, the circadian rhythm is the natural sleep-wake cycle. He was offsetting it, and in the process, he was suppressing melatonin, which is the sleep hormone. Now, these are things that happen naturally in our body and are stimulated by the sunrise in the morning. And this allowed his body to produce serotonin, which is a mood stabilizer. Your girl has learned quite some bits of holistic health. And this is Jefferson doing intentionality of things he has intended. Now, what is my lesson in all of this? Now, to me, this speaks volumes, again, about the area of prioritizing health and well-being. Now, I do not know whether Thomas Jefferson had great knowledge on health and the body's science, but whatever he did, he was intentional, and I am confident to say that this offset whatever he did through the day. Listen what he said, that after his morning routine, he settled and engaged in all-day lengthy letter writing. And precisely these were his words. From sunrise to 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock, I am drudging at the writing table. He's toiling to write something all day after this morning routine and its empowerment. Now, last week, we started on the simple steps that I managed to summarize for us to enable us, like successful people, known world over, to maximize our mornings. A quick recap. We started on step 1, maximizing your mental powers, and step 2, was using daily affirmations. Step 3 was you seeing the future and your big why. All these every morning before you step out to go to serve others. Remember the mention of the oxygen mask rule, serving self first before you serve others? Fully empowered. So today we complete the list. The next one cushions all the above 3, and it is step 4, write it down. I hear me mentioning journaling again. Now remember, from the start of this season, I mentioned that you have to own a journal if you are in the process of building holistic health for you. And a journal is not just cliche. I call it a journey of your life documented. Now, journals and journaling and whatever practice you do in there is a mental clean out through things like brain dumping, writing your plans, intentionality. Now we're even mentioning visualization. Now, this documentation of your journey each morning has lots of positive effects on the working of our brains. And by the way, this is all documented. It has been researched, and I have endlessly shared here with you, my audience, on this podcast. So here we are again. Maximize your mental powers. Note down what you hear or see in silence. Affirm yourself on what is documented. See your future and your big dreams as big as you can. Dream it, but write it all down just as you see it. And we're not forgetting gratitude and planning your day. Remember, goals not written down are mere wishes. And this is one of my favorites. Listen to this. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision down and make it plain on paper, that he may run with it, he that reads it. By the way, starting with you, the author. And this is Habakkuk 2, verse 2. Now, daily gratitude, visualization, and planning. Talk about planning the day, planning the week, the month, the year, a lifetime. Back to your big why. It has all been planned out in detail. Now, will you not surely have every cell in your body to see these accomplished through the day? Wherever the day will find you. It is amazing the power of doing these things before you step out. And step 5, exercise seals the deal. Now, exercise stimulates your mind to start the processes of what you just did, to make them a reality. This is because it causes circulation to your brain for new ideas, plans, especially for healing. It has been guaranteed to give you health in your body. Now, I will talk about exercise, and some more exercise until my skin runs blue. Now, I want you to know that we are not going to look for 1 hour that you don't have. Do not wait for it. I want you to use your 10 to 20 minutes in the morning. Remember, we are in rush hour before we step out. And by the way, recently, I found an app that allows you a 7-minute full body workout. I kid you not. I did. And I will tell you, it actually challenged my heart in a nice way. And of course, I had to come and share it with you. Now listen to this. It's plain as this, that when you fail to exercise, you are choosing disease in one way or another. Sounds quite tough, but that's the reality. I've talked a lot about stepping out in my CSC method. I've talked about feel-good hormones again on this podcast. Remember me mentioning that these are happiness hormones? Now, by the end of these simple steps in the morning, these hormones have all been stimulated and are in action. Now, honestly, tell me, why won't you have the best day at work and the best productivity when all your feel-good hormones are up there before 8 a.m.? Now, I will tell you that most recently, I came across this version simplified. You cannot miss hearing this part of the podcast, the most important part where all this began. And when I found this simplified version, I knew it without a doubt that anyone can live in holistic health if they so wish, and it is possible. Right there is my mantra. and it's right before them. And it can start in the morning, in what once was called the Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod, who simplified all the research that I have been doing on maximizing my morning to achieve holistic health for myself, even before I step out to serve on others. The magic of the Miracle Morning is in his acronym, SAVERS. That is ACE for silence, A for affirmations, V for visualization, E for exercise, and S for scribbling. It is a template that he made to simplify the magic of building self in the morning so as to be empowered to build others and everything you touch after that. Isn't this true magic? I feel so excited that I almost want to run out of my skin. But listen to where it all started for Hal. Your levels of success will seldom exceed your level of personal development, because success is something you attract by the person you become, says his mentor, Jim Rohn. I'll repeat that for you, my dears. Your levels of success will seldom exceed your level of personal development, because success is something you attract by the person you become. Now, we are becoming that person by changing the holistic health practices that we do right in the morning before we head out to serve others. Now, again, I want to support you through the affirmations. This is what it will look like when we are calling forth our health. So join me on this one. Let's go. I definitely choose health for me. I am healthy. I am wiser. And I make choices that lead me to this. And today, I choose to serve me best. I'm able to serve others to the best of my ability because I have served me fully. I am healthy and I am in charge of my health, not my doctor. I am in charge of my workplace health, not my employer. So I make the choice to plan to excel in the workplace by starting on planning for me. The excellent means to the excellence at work, any work that I put my hands on. Now I can do this, and I will today. Well done, my lovely listeners. Do you know what you just did? You just started on a journey of making yourself irrecognizable. Now let's go to save our health by starting on the savers. Thanks, Hal Elrod, for changing life, and definitely you have changed mine fast. To you, my audience, the ball is in your courts. Let's do this together, and together we shall be irrecognizable. Your host, Dr. Lillian Kalisa, here to add the glow to medicine. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye.